they put the septic system in the wrong spot. So now they have to move it. You kind of see where we're standing. I don't know if you guys can tell, but the actual tank is sitting right where the house is supposed to be. So we have a few different options with moving the tank so that the house doesn't sit on top of it, as well as moving the leach field so that our concrete patio doesn't sit on top of those. So we're kind of brainstorming.
Oh, yeah, this is our leach field, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, like no shit, the concrete can't cover it. So that's not an option.
Till next time.
One eternity later.
Well, as you guys can see, it took a lot longer than expected to get this whole septic system process worked out. Eden, come here. Come here. She's being annoying. You can see from a few weeks ago, they put in the septic system and they put it in the wrong spot. So let me break down kind of what happened over the last kind of month or so with this whole septic system process. If you guys remember from a while ago, when we first bought the land, literally before we even bought the land, we had the private soil classifier come out here and go ahead and test our soil so that we could make sure that it was going to work for a septic system. So we had the private guy come out here, and basically what he does is drill a few holes in the soil, test the soil, and then he pretty much comes up with a basic construction of what the septic system is going to look like on your land. And at the time, we were planning on building a shed to home, and the build was going to be about 14 by 40 feet, and that was what was on the drawing. And see if I can insert a picture of the drawing. It was very, very basic. It was basically just a rectangle, and then it had some distances of where the septic system would be, the leach field, and all that stuff. So basically, when the guy came out to do our septic system, he was a little confused. So anyways, let's backtrack a little bit here. So we got that guy to, get our soil tested and draw up the plans and whatnot. So he does all of that, and then all of that paperwork that he did will go into the septic application that I filled out to turn into DHEC, which I did a long time ago. And once DHEC approves it, they kind of like send you an email. The only email that I actually received from DHEC was an email that said the status, and it said in effect. And then it gave me my permit number and blah, blah, blah. So it was literally just this little email, like a do not reply email that had the status that said in effect, and it had my permit number. So, I did all this searching around to see if I could, find the actual permit for the septic company to help them out a little bit. So I could never find it. They went ahead and put in the septic system. And I'm not going to go over who we used and all that stuff because we ran into so many problems. I'm not going to shout them out, but I'm also not going to throw them under the bus because our situation was a little bit unique, and we're doing this whole thing step by step and kind of on our own. So we didn't have this whole drawn out plan of what our house was going to look like or our land and all that. Like, we're literally doing this on a whim. So the guy comes out, he puts in the septic system, and I also asked them to kind of, you saw how we kind of widened our driveway here at the land so that we have a little bit more wider driveway so that the bigger vehicles can get up here and they can work a little better. So we had them do that as well. So a little bit of, forestry mulching and the septic system. That's what we had planned for them to do. So they went ahead and did that. It literally took them one day. It took them one day of labor to do all that. So a couple days later, we come out here and we look and we notice that it's completely in the wrong spot. It's not where we talked about. I came out here personally with the guy and told him exactly where I wanted it, where we needed it, where our house was going to go. And he basically placed it right where our house was going to be. He placed it directly in the middle. We had a little conversation, had him come back out. McKenna was with me. We talked about where we wanted it to go from there. He said, he told us that he could not find our septic permit. So that was a whole nother complicated issue. So he had to go talk with DHEC to kind of figure out where our permit was. I ended up finding the file number, which was on the top of that soil classifier sheet that he filled out for me. Had the file number, which was a little bit easier for him to find. So it took a couple days for DHEC to actually come out here and approve the system. And what he did was, where he had the septic system laid out already is what he had DHEC come out and go ahead and inspect. So they just inspected the septic system, how it was, where the leach bed was, all that stuff. So the septic company ended up getting the septic system approved and inspected, and it was all good where it was at. So he kind of had a little chat with DHEC and said, hey, you know what, we're going to move this a little bit. They just inspected it how it was, and then he planned on moving it whenever we figured out what we needed to do. So as you guys, Eden, hey, get out here. So as you guys saw, a few weeks back, the septic system was basically, the tank was laid directly in the middle of our cleared area, and the pipes ran along the woods. And basically, we talked about moving the tank to get a better setup. We talked about moving the lines. We ended up leaving the tank where it was at. So the tank is fine where it's at. We're going to end up, I'll show you guys in a second what it's going to kind of look like and how it's set up. But we ended up just moving the leach field, basically, going a different direction with it. So let's go over here to the cleared area and let's take a look at what we have going on. So basically, this is the cleared out area that we had. And as you guys saw last week, they put the tank right here. So we left the tank right here. This is our access point for the septic tank. Now, they had the pipes, the leach field, coming all the way around here, kind of curved along the woods. Well, the problem is that we're going to have our house literally laying across here. So, we can't put our house on top of the leach field. So we talked about moving the tank even like back there a little bit. But we ended up just, leaving the tank where it's at. And what the guy did was, where the first pipe kind of went, it kind of started here and it went around there. Now it kind of goes from here and it works its way back there towards the woods. And then the second pipe is right here on the inside. So you got a pipe here and a pipe here. And it is now completely out of the way. And we're going to have to put, the house is literally going to have to back up right here to the septic tank. And that's where the back of the house will be. So we have a good, area here, a good bit of room for our front patio and everything that we need. And honestly, all this space behind the septic tank may be a good idea because we're thinking about going solar. So we might need some space to, put the solar panels and have enough room for the sun to actually shine down and power those. Overall, I'm not happy. I'm not happy with everything. But, as we said before, you're going to run into speed bumps. It's going to be okay. We're going to adapt. We're going to move on from here. But let's go back over here to the shade a little bit and let's talk some pricing. I'll tell you guys what it costs to do this kind of thing. All right, guys, I have the invoice pulled up on my phone right here. So we'll go over some pricing and I'll explain to you guys kind of how it works. The size of the tank is based on how many bedrooms that your house has. And unfortunately, we're only going to have a 1-bedroom house. It's going to be a tiny house. And the smallest tank that you can go from 1 to 4 bedrooms, until you get to 4 bedrooms, it doesn't increase. So at 1 to 4 bedrooms, you have to start at a 1,000-gallon tank. So we have a plastic 1,200-gallon tank that is rated for 1,000 gallons. That's the tank that we got for our house, and we'll break down each individual piece here, and then I'll give you the grand total at the end. So for the tank itself, it was $2,250. The lines, so the leach field lines, there's 100 feet of line total, and the cost for all those lines was $2,600. They charged us for 2 days of labor, even though they had to change it. The guy was kind of cool about it and said that he wasn't going to charge us anymore, which I didn't expect him to, considering we kind of talked about it, and he's the one that kind of messed it up. For the 2 days of labor, it cost $750. For equipment operation, $900. And then for the cost of like the piping, that's going to be like between the home and the tank, that was $485. Damn it, it's hot out here. I'm freaking sweating. So like I said, we added that mulching and grading along the driveway up here, and that was an additional $2,100. The grand total here for this whole installation process was $9,085 is what we paid. So overall, not too bad for a whole septic tank installation with some grading and forestry mulching, because that needed to be done. I'm not happy, but I would say I'm not impressed, but I'm also not unhappy about it. I mean, we got it done. We got done what we need to get done. Eden, get out of there. Hey, get out of there. Damn. I want to show you guys one more little update on our actual driveway here up to the house. It's starting to wash a good bit. So there's some places here I just want to show you guys what's going on. The rocks aren't packing down like they should. They're kind of washing away. So these are some problems that if you have a similar build that we're doing, you may have these problems. So it's like a steep incline driveway, gravel driveway. Let me go show you. All the water runs from up here and it runs down this driveway because it's so inclined. You can see where it's just getting so washed right here, washing away here. If we walk down here, and Jordan tried to prevent some of this, and I think he did a good job at it. When they did some more grading, I think they kind of messed up the runoff, and the big equipment coming up here kind of hurt the driveway a little bit. You can see this is the biggest spot here with washout. This is a pretty big spot. Jordan made that little path there to kind of get the rainwater to go that way, and it worked for a while. I think just over time it's just going to keep washing and washing. So we're going to have to figure out what we're going to do here, but for now it's okay. We can get the trucks up. We have 2 4-wheel drive vehicles, so we're able to get up here. Eden. So thank you guys for watching our videos. I know I hadn't posted in a while. We've been really busy. We have some really cool plans coming up, and we've just been running around everywhere. But you guys will be informed on those plans very, very soon. You guys stay tuned. Keep watching our videos. I promise you it's going to get better. One day I will get a better camera and a better microphone, but not yet. I can't afford it, and I don't have enough followers for all that shit. So keep watching. Love you guys.